Hey gang, I'm back at you to talk a little bit about training shoes. So I remember when I started my first big strength and conditioning job. I was the sport performance director at a facility called Velocity Sports Performance, and it was like a full-time job, and I had a salary, and it was like, wow, I've made it. So I got myself a little "you made it" present, which I know it's supposed to be like a Rolex watch or a Lamborghini or something, but if you're a strength coach, it'd actually be a new pair of workout shoes. So I splurged and I got myself a pair of Nike Shox that were all the rage at the time, and they were expensive. They were probably about $170, something like that, but that was my treat. And they're really comfortable to wear around. If you remember them, if you had a pair, they're super comfortable to wear around, but they actually weren't that great for training because it had those like shock absorber things in the heels, so that if you were cutting laterally, it just gave, so if I was going this way and I went to stop, it just let my foot roll. So really not great, but very, very comfortable to wear when I was coaching. So then what happened was the athletes would all come in and they would start, you'd see more and more of them wearing Shox, and they'd be like, yeah, we just got the same shoes that you have. It was like, no. And it's hard to tell someone who just spent like $170 on their shoes that their shoes kind of suck for training. So I get asked a question all the time, or actually I'm really glad when I get asked a question, what are the best kind of shoes for training? And the answer is it depends a little bit. What exactly are you going to be doing? What is your training going to be? But so here again is another example. I wear Vibram 5 fingers in the gym on most days because I am coaching. I am standing, I'm walking, I'm demonstrating, some reps, doing a little bit of jumping, a little bit of change of direction, but again, just a few reps of everything. So I like them because, yeah, I think my feet do have to do some exercise and be strong in their own right, but I'm also not doing a lot of jumping and accelerating and decelerating, and not a lot of wear and tear. So I think these are great to wear for that. I also wear them when I work out in the gym if I'm not really doing a lot of plyometrics. I take them with me when I travel. I will run in them when I travel just because I'm sort of a carry-on type person, so they can fold right flat, and and I can fit them in. And really when I go away, I don't typically run more than 5 miles anyway. So for a short period of time, it's okay. Plus I've had them for a long time, and I kind of know how to run in them. It's a slightly different gait. But, some people make the mistake like, oh, those are supposed to be really, really good for your feet. I'm going to start wearing them all the time. That again is a no-no because your feet aren't used to it. So, these really are just some rubber so that you don't step on glass and stub your toe and things like that. So if you just start doing all your workouts barefoot or in a shoe like this and running and jumping and doing your agility training, you're probably going to end up with some problems in your feet, your ankles, your knees. So if you do want to wear these, I think they're fine to wear for some strength training. I think they're not bad to wear for some plyometric training, as long as you're taking your time to build up to that stage. I remember seeing Mark Verstegen, who is probably one of my top 3 strength and conditioning heroes. Every time I've seen him speak, it just makes so much sense, and such an egoless guy. But he's like, you need to earn these, and he's talking about the athletes at what is now Exos, but what used to be Athletes Performance. So even they, he's like, well, they could wear these for once they got to a certain stage, they could wear these for their warm up and then maybe for their lift. But it was like top level before they get to wear these for agility training. I can't remember if he ever let them wear them for agility training, to be honest, but he works with the elite of the elite in the world, and this was hey, you got to earn it and you got to make it through. So really like them. Think they're great for wearing around, and for doing just a pure lift is fine, as long as you don't drop plate on your toe like I've done before. But there you go. You might not all be as clumsy as me. So then here's what we see a lot in the gym. These aren't mine. These are Tyler's. My feet aren't this big. Just like a running shoe. And so, they have a little thicker heel that has a little bit, it's meant to cushion. So when we run, we heel strike, which we shouldn't really heel strike, but but we do. It's a long story. It's like the guy who started Nike was a track coach, and the speed that you run is a product of your stride length plus your turnover rate. So turnover rate is a little bit hard to change, but hi John, but he kind of did the math and was like, well, if we just increase their stride length then and keep the same cadence, then they're gonna go faster. So the athletes started doing that, and then back in the day they'd be wearing like probably Chuck Taylors or something, and then the athletes would be like, man, my feet hurt, my knees hurt. So he's like, aha, if I just put extra rubber on the heel, so when they land on their heel it cushions it, then their stuff won't hurt and they're gonna take longer strides. But again, biomechanically that's a braking impulse. I don't mean to talk about gait, but anyway, I digress again. So it had some extra lift. These ones aren't too bad. It's not too high of a lift, but still, if we're doing straight line stuff, not too bad. But if we come to do some change of direction stuff, can you see how there's some height built up here? So that when we cut, you know, it kind of sets us up where we could, plus this is a little bit soft, it sets us up where we could kind of roll our ankle. Plus we're losing some power. Like any of our power that goes into compressing the sole of the shoe, that's power that we're losing when we're doing like a plyometric or an acceleration type exercise. So, you know, again, not ideal, but if you're gonna have kind of one, hi Rick, if you're gonna have kind of one, Rick, I actually have my assistant looking into how we can get Goalie Training Pro, or actually even Goalie Training Lab swag done up so that somebody else takes the orders and ships it out and everything. So I said I would work on it, and I am. If you're only gonna have one pair of shoes, this is probably a good compromise. It's not too super cushy for running. I'll run and get another pair in a second that is more cushy. So, you know, not bad. These shoes I love. Again, these are not mine. These are Paul's shoes actually, but these New Balance Minimus were awesome. I got a new pair last summer and they changed the design a little bit, and to me, like they made this upper a little different. To me, it's less breathable. My feet would get really hot in them when I wore them in the gym all day long. So it might not be an issue for you guys, but that's why I stopped wearing them. But again, it's like a zero drop shoe, like this. You can't really see it, but you know, this insole is oh, you're on a flight from San Francisco to Boston. Awesome, that's cool. Man, have fun, safe travels. Yeah, Rick, I run in Saucony too. So for my pure running, you know, Paul and I are gonna do another half marathon the middle or end of October. Saucony's been very good to me. Yeah, I've run in them off and on since I was a teenager. But so anyway, this New Balance, kind of a zero drop, not much structure, but you know, but enough cushioning and a little bit of structure to help support your foot. So I love these for your agility, for your speed, not for distance running, but your lifting, all that stuff, really good. This is what I'm wearing right now when I'm not in my 5 fingers. You know what's funny too? Don't tell Reebok. But I took a marker and I like colored in black all the CrossFit stuff, just because I'm not a CrossFit girl, and I don't know why they put it on everything. And it came back like the like it comes back out. It's crazy. But anyhow, I really like these shoes, and I don't even mind the little symbol anymore. They breathe nicely. They're I don't know that they're zero drop, but very little heel on them. A little bit of heel, like if you're doing things like cleans. If you see real Olympic lifting shoes, they have they actually have more of a heel on this than this, and they're stiff. But that actually helps your technique in squats and things like that a little bit. But yeah, so it's a real nice compromise. Not a whole lot of structure there, but enough so that if I'm doing some agility training, it has a nice, pretty strong heel counter. If we're doing some agility training, it keeps my foot nice and stable. It doesn't sort of smush down and let me roll my ankle. So I really like that one. You know what? Can you guys amuse yourselves for like 15 seconds? I'm gonna run and get a cleat and a running shoe. Can you wait? I'll be right back. So I just wanted to show you, like, this is a pure running shoe. It is a Saucony, again, it's not mine. But you see how thick this is, and it's pretty soft too. So, you know, that's almost like doing agility training in a little bit of a platform shoe. Like, this probably has at least a 2 centimeter or more rise. So again, really great for straight line running. That's 100% what they designed it for. They didn't design it, nor do they market it as, you know, hey, this is an agility training shoe. Just reading Rick's question. What socks do you recommend? Ever run in wool trail socks? I like Timberland. I run in almost anything. You know the ones I don't like? The ones that are like 2 layers that are supposed to not give you a blister. Right sock, I think they're maybe called. I don't know, but they to me, they have seams in my toes, and they irritate my toes. But I know other people who love them. I really like there's some New Balance socks that I really like that are just, you know, thin, single layer. I used to run in wool socks all the time, actually, but I don't know why, I just got out of it. But yeah, I think it differs. I'm really sensitive if there's seams around my toes. I hates it. And I want the bottom to be smooth, and then it to sort of wrap my midfoot quite nicely. So I just kind of look for that. I don't have a specific brand. Hi, Salman. So then this is, when we do our agility training, a lot of times we go over to the park or we do our hill runs. So we're on grass. And if people show up and they don't have their cleats with them, they're going to be slipping all over the place. So it's bad for 2 reasons. One, you might accidentally learn how to do the splits in one easy step, which, even though I know you're goalies, trust me, you don't want to do that. But the other reason is so that you don't get the one easy step lesson in how to do the splits. Then if we're changing direction, our athletes are slowing down when they get to where they're supposed to change direction, so their feet don't slide. So they're losing that deceleration, acceleration impulse, which is what, you know, gives athletes their edge and their advantage. So we want them to be able to hammer right into that cone and, you know, like stop on a dime and give you 5 cents change, whatever the saying is. So, so they all bring their cleats. This is a football cleat. It's a mid-rise cleat. These actually are mine. I know that they're pretty big too, but I like the mid-rise. I feel like I don't think it supports my ankle per se, but I feel like it gives me some good proprioception of where my foot is. I think it also keeps stuff from getting down in my shoe as easily. These are Under Armour. I've had them forever. Because they're a little bit softer, and they do have a little bit of a contour in the footbed, unlike some soccer boots. Like, some people bring their real legit soccer boots, and those are just flat and like quite uncomfortable. So it's like, no, we're not trying to torture you, and you don't need to worry about touch on the ball. I understand for soccer boots, but we just need something that's going to give you good grip and be pretty comfortable. So those are the types of shoes we use for training. What's the best? I don't think there is one best. I think you know, I think that something like this is a pretty good, you know, a cross trainer that doesn't have too much of a heel lift. I think that's a great way to go. But ultimately, you need to try on what brand fits your foot, because every foot is kind of shaped differently, and different shoe manufacturers create their shoe based on a different model foot shape. So, you know, for example, Rick and I really like Saucony for doing our distance running in. Somebody else who has a different shaped foot might really dislike Saucony. So Rick, my guess is you're probably a bit like me. I have a fairly narrow foot, although my forefoot is a little bit wider and my heel is a little bit narrower, so those fit really, really nicely. But, you know, people with different shaped foot, it's not going to be so good. So there's your rundown on what kind of shoes to wear, and really the color is the most important. No, don't buy it based on what it looks like. I mean, for your shoes, you're going to wear it wherever, do that, but for your workout shoes, they got to fit comfortably. They should fit comfortably right out of the box. If you have to break them in, probably not the right shoe for you. Rick, you're welcome. Have a safe flight. Don't forget to fasten your seatbelt when you're seated. Make sure that the flight attendants can see it so they don't have to wake you up. Have safe travels. Have fun in Boston. What a great town. See you guys. Bye-bye.